This plant is Cestrum elegans, and it's not very well known. We're in an inland valley in Northern California. I see this a lot in Berkeley, California, and it's a really nice, I believe it's a subtropical plant, but it does well here. It is at the edge of what it can tolerate in terms of cold. We get in the high 20s most winters, and this doesn't like it very much. It will survive it. These plants you're looking at here are at least 3 or 4 years old, but it's under the overhang of this house, as you can see, and that certainly helps it at that kind of marginal temperature. So that tells you what you need to know in terms of temperature. If you get it in an overhang, under an overhang, and you're in the in the 20s, I think you'll be okay. But if not, I've tried this out in open areas in my yard and had it die the first winter. So that is definitely the edge of where it wants to be in terms of temperature. That said, this really is a nice flowering plant. You can see the flowers here. This is a favorite of hummingbirds. Most of these are spent, but there's a nice cluster of the reddish flower. This also comes in a variety called Smithii, which is a nice clear pink, which I'll include a photo of. And there's other varieties, but these are the two main ones that are available in our area anyway, and through the trade. You're looking at plants that are between 7 and 8 feet tall and about 4 to 5 feet wide. I've planted these when I designed this. They're about 42 inches on center, because I wanted good infill in a reasonable amount of time. I like this deep green color. The Smithii has a lighter color to the foliage, so it's a few tones lighter on green. And these flowers turn into a really pretty red berry, so some added interest. If you don't deadhead these, the berry will follow, and it's a nice dark red berry, very much the same color as those flowers that you see there. The foliage, it's a good shot of, is a nice deep green. And this is a fast-growing plant. I mean, if you buy these in 5-gallon, you're probably going to get a 6-foot-high plant in 1 year. They're very vigorous. The book says that these can reach 10 to 15 feet tall. I saw one in Berkeley one time that was easily 10 to 12 feet tall. I never use them that way. When you're in a colder area like we are, the cold temperatures naturally retard the growth. So not to mention, that's not really a size that I have much call for. So I would say if you want to use them as a larger flowering plant on the corner of a building or something, you could get away with that in more of a coastal type of climate zone. And these are poisonous. I believe it's the berry that is poisonous, so if you've got children or animals around that you're concerned about them consuming something like that, you want to make sure you avoid this for that reason. And as a result, the deer typically leave this alone. I've used this in deer areas and been successful with it. There's actually a really nice picture of the flower before it's on the decline. It's a nice look at it. This is not drought tolerant. I would tell you this needs regular garden water to look its best. When it's shaded like this, it naturally holds that, so I don't think that's a big problem. And once it's established, you can go a little lower on the water, but it's going to be happier if you give it regular garden water. And that is Cestrum elegans. Here's another quick example, and this is in the same yard, but something I want to point out is you see some of the yellower leaves. These plants consume a lot of food. They grow fast, they bloom a lot, and so they're gonna look a lot better if you feed them. And I would say this group here is needing some food. You see some of these yellower leaves, and a little sparser, and the leaves overall are not as deep green, and that's in need of some food. So just know that if you want these to perform their best, you probably want to give it an all-purpose kind of food that handles bloom as well as some slow-release nitrogen, and they're really going to benefit from that.